Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with new information on the deadly shooting by the North Fargo Hornbachers. The two suspects have now been formally charged, and court documents show it was a drug deal gone wrong. 21-year-old Reng Ayong is charged with murder, conspiracy to commit robbery, reckless endangerment, theft, and unlawful possession of a firearm. 28-year-old Darrell Simmons is charged with conspiracy to commit robbery and conspiracy to deliver meth. Court documents now reveal the car crashed on the scene where officers found the victim was stolen from Dilworth, Minnesota. Simmons later told police that he and the victim, Anquan White, were trying to buy meth from Ayong. When Simmons got out to get the drugs from the trunk, the car started to drive erratically through the store parking lot. Simmons says gunshots came from the back seat as the car drove away and crashed. 15 cases have been recovered from the scene. We have more on this story on the VNL News app. We also have new information on the assault in Baker, Minnesota that sent one man to the hospital. The suspect is now formally charged, and the victim is still in critical condition in the ICU. Stephen Krogsgaard is now charged with first-degree assault and could face up to 20 years in prison. Court documents say the victim and Krogsgaard were roommates. Documents also reveal the victim wanted Krogsgaard to move out, and then eventually a fight broke out where Krogsgaard hit the victim in the face, causing severe injuries. A doctor says the victim has a torn pancreas, a broken rib, and trauma to the face, head, and chest. You can read more on this story as well on the VNL News app. Mass testing for COVID-19 is underway right now in Grand Forks. It will be going on until 2 this afternoon. Testing is meant for essential workers and first responders and people who have been in close contact with someone who tested positive. Testing is free, and the goal is to check 500 people. Taking that live look outside this afternoon, it has really cleared up from where we were earlier today. To see if we can expect the sun the rest of the day, let's head on over to First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Justin Fanfarelli.
And thank you, Jordan. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's take a look at our satellite loop. And as you can see in our southern counties, we do have a good amount of sunshine, more clouds as you make your way further north. And I want to bring your attention to what we're seeing just off to the north of Devil's Lake. We do have a low that's making its way through. Now, we do have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms as we go through the afternoon. And with the spin in the atmosphere, some of the storms actually could produce a few funnels. So definitely be aware of that as you go through the afternoon. If you do see one, take shelter. Usually they are short-lived. Now, the temperatures across the region where they have more sunshine into the upper 50s to lower 60s into the Southern Valley, where they have more clouds and the rain, especially into the Devil's Lake Basin. They're staying into the 40s and low 50s. And the wind is starting to pick up, especially in our western counties, flipping around from a southerly direction to more of a westerly direction out toward Jamestown, Devil's Lake. And winds in that direction could be windy, wind speeds around 25 to 40 miles per hour. So temperatures are going to be into the mid-60s this afternoon. Southern Valley has more sunshine with clouds and a chance of some showers and thunderstorms further north, and it will be breezy to windy. We do have a nice warm-up in store. A few sunny days, a few rain chances on the 7-day forecast. We'll have the details on that coming up later in the newscast.
All right. Thank you, Justin. The Minnesota Department of Health confirms there have been over 13,000 COVID-19 cases in the state. The total now stands at 13,435. That's an increase of 518 from the day before. They also reported 25 more deaths, bringing the total number to 663. 9 of those deaths are still listed as probable, even though a positive test result isn't on file. 9,136 people are listed as recovered. In North Dakota, the total number of cases now sits at 1,712. That's an increase of 65 cases from the day before. 1,007 people are now listed as recovered in the state, meaning there are 705 active cases. No new deaths have been reported today. Kids in West Fargo will soon be able to run around on playground equipment again. Playgrounds open tomorrow, but there are some new rules. You'll need to keep 6 feet between people. The City Parks Department says you should also bring your own hand sanitizer or wipes and your own bottled water. Drinking fountains and restrooms will remain closed for now. Groups of no more than 10 people can gather on parks practice fields, but they're encouraged to continue social distancing as well. The next step to reopening will be unlocking the restrooms, but no timetable has been set for that. Governor Doug Burgum is putting $195,000 of his own money into a political action campaign that has set its sights on defeating one of the most powerful members of the legislature and a member of his own party. The move to campaign against House Appropriations Chairman Jeff Delzer in the June primary has drawn criticism across North Dakota's political spectrum. Political and election law experts say such a move by a governor to oust a powerful member of their own party is unusual. The governor is not commenting on the contribution. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says he will extend the state's peacetime emergency until mid-June, but he will allow the stay-at-home order to expire next week. Aaron Hazendas talked to Minnesota business owners to hear their reaction on this decision.
We believe that the safest place we can be is at home, but we know we can't continue like this forever.
After nearly 2 months of staying home, restrictions in Minnesota will loosen next week. The governor says starting Monday, we can gather in groups of 10 or less with masks and social distancing. And non-essential businesses like retail stores and malls can reopen at half capacity as long as they have a safety plan.
I think it's a great idea because I think we're ready to open safely.
The news is exciting for people like Tom Johnson, owner of A. Johnson & Sons Florist on Grand Avenue in St. Paul.
It would be nice to get back open, but at the same time, I'm not sure even our customers are ready to come running back in just yet.
Dan Marshall, who owns Mischief Toy Store on Grand Avenue, doesn't think Monday is realistic for reopening.
A lot of our distributors and vendors are still offline. Our inventory is kind of really out of whack right now. The store itself is a mess, and we're still waiting on things like a sneeze guard to put up on our register to, protect our customers and ourselves.
Many business owners will need to wait. Bars, restaurants, salons, and barbershops won't reopen until June 1st, at which time the governor says we'll have increased testing, tracing, and isolating the virus in Minnesota.
We're very anxious to get open. I just think that we're going to lose so many wonderful businesses on Grand.
The further delay is frustrating for restaurateurs like Peter Kenefick, who owns 3 restaurants on Grand Avenue in St. Paul.
At least outside. Why wouldn't we start outside and see how that works?
As parts of our main streets begin to reopen, those who can't hope they'll make it to the other side.
At some point, we have to figure out how do we try to go forward. If we get a chance to operate safely, we will figure it out.
Aaron Hasanzadeh, WCCO 4 News.
The extension of the peacetime emergency order will also allow Governor Walz to keep schools closed. In our consumer alert, the number of Americans seeking first-time unemployment continues its historic climb. The Labor Department reports 2.981 million people applied for unemployment benefits last week. While filings have eased slightly over the last 6 weeks, they have not come down as fast as analysts were projecting. Last week's filings have put the coronavirus crisis total to 36.5 million, by far the biggest job loss in U.S. history. Now on to our consumer alert this afternoon. McDonald's fans, the fast food chain is throwing in extra fries if you make a purchase on Fridays. It's called Free Fries on Friday. The deal will run through June 28th, and to get the free treat, you have to make at least a $1 purchase through the McDonald's app. The deal involves a medium-sized fry, 1 order per customer, and it's only available at participating McDonald's locations. Coming up here at noon, a restaurant in South Carolina is using an unusual and some may say creepy technique to make the tables look full. We'll explain coming up. But next, Justin Fanfarelli is in with how warm we can expect to get this afternoon.